M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Here's Isaiah Rodgers, and look at this. Right away, a loose football, and the Ravens have got it. Well, it's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is, but to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Jackson now. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Colts are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they?
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. After the sack on 1st down, Wentz looking for Campbell downfield. He's got a man, complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 97 yards. And the Colts on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And that should serve as a big warning to this defense. They know now that they have to stick close to these receivers because they have the ability to break games wide open after the catch, and that one wound up in the end zone.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Flush to his right. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. 1st down and more for Jackson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1. Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
It's a gain of set up 2nd and goal. Brown, the lone receiver, left. On 2nd and goal. Jackson flushed out right. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over instead.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, 3rd most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. These two teams all tied after one. First and 10, Taylor now. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And those are the types of plays that Kenny Moore wants to make more of because he's really starting to make a name for himself, and many know him as a terrific blitzer from the nickelback position. Undrafted out of Valdosta State, he is a ball hawk as well.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's second and 21. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Kari Willis there to bring him down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious. Because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So first and 10 now from the 30. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On play action, it's Wentz. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Adafe Owe. credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going up top for Taylor. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and put the football or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll set them back 5. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Flush to his right. 1st down and more for Jackson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big pick up there on the scramble.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase it or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
A good 1st down call as the screenplay gets him 9. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So they called it a touchdown originally. This will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's caught by the tight end, Granson. And he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Got an open man. That's Campbell. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. To throw is Wentz. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Wentz to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
But do you put it in your quarterback's hands again? That's the question here on 3rd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A final shot before half for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, But I think they told him, guys, if he wants to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Jackson. Flushed out right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Well, another fine run right there from Lamar Jackson, and CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? With Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. 2nd and 8. Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. Jackson from the shotgun. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality of this goal? Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Play action. It's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Inside 4 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Now, Wentz again. That ball caught by Campbell. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Now a give to Taylor. Shedding the tackle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Blankenship's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Flush to his right. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. It's a big play there for Baltimore. They'll run with Dobbins. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd down and goal. Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Wentz's throw complete here to Doyle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ballgame and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incomplete stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll go as a sack and a loss of a yard, and it leads to a second and goal.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
On second and goal, Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. He's at the 50.